So we are gathered here today to see about the turn signal. Oh, I can do it. I can do it for you.
I just want to let everybody know on tape that I assume no responsibilities for anything that doesn't work after I'm done, and that is breaking. Disclaimer, hashtag small star in the bottom. What's that called?
Asterisk.
Asterisk.
Well, how about, the only thing I'll hold you responsible for is if I turn the wheel left and it goes right, and if I turn it right, it goes left.
Well, that is actually something that would be funny.
Right.
I can make that happen.
Johnson rod. So there's 3 screws on the back of the wheel. Taking those out, then the horn plate comes up. The black plastic is held on to that with 3 other screws. Maybe we'll look at later. Maybe we won't. But we have to get into the steering column. I have a steering wheel puller, and we'll see if we can do it. There are 3 contacts on it, as you see with the wires. So that's how that goes. We need a socket for that. I think it was 3/4.
Nope. That was 11/60. Oh, come on. Told you, not responsible. This is the auto body.
I won't break nothing, but then again, if something breaks.
This is what the auto body don't want you to see what happens.
Yeah, really.
Cigarettes hanging out of their mouth.
I might have to hold the wheel for it. No, there we go.
Come on, yeah, ruin that for the rest of its life. It will never be tightened the way it was from the factory.
Well,
You could get an impact wrench.
you could, but, you know, I wonder if we ought to change the nut behind the wheel while we're at it.
All right.
There's that and a washer, and now we're ready for the puller. So now we're getting the puller on. In position.
Oh, you know what? Maybe let me get that collar. I think that kind of sat on the bolt.
Oh. All right, now we'll see what happens.
5/8 for what it's worth.
Probably not much. Thought you knew which way to turn a wrench. It's either going to come slow or it's just going to pop, and I don't know which.
You're supposed to tighten it, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm afraid.
Oh, jeez.
It's not doing nothing, but...
Oh, my God.
I mean, if it's never been pulled, then... Right, there's nothing else in there that has to get done.
No, not that I'm aware of.
No, it's 2 shafts and...
Oh, God. I don't know if that extension is the wisest idea.
Well, I don't have any... It's tight. It's tight like a toiga.
All right. Tight like a toiga, eh?
I need you to hold your hand.
Yeah. He thought he broke it, but he didn't. It just came loose.
That's scary.
I just had to hold it. Yeah,
That's scary.
I figured it was just going to pop like that.
No, I don't like that. Well, you don't need this, right? Because it's just
Yeah, the puller's done now.
Okay.
In fact, that can even be packed up. That's totally done.
Who's that?
Yeah, dash cam.
Oh, it's the missus. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, so I'm going to put the tools away, and then we'll see what we got here. Oh. I fell in your twats.
Right, go get it.
Yeah, no. Here it is. The horn assembly.
Which could be purchased, by the way.
I'm sure it can be. This is the little contact point that rides in that little hole right over there. But the wheel's loose, so go ahead and pull that. And there it is. We have the lower portion of the steering column apart. We're trying to get the old one out. Now, this piece I got on Fleabay. It's supposed to fit this car and about 4,000 other GM products. I even just looked this up on AutoZone, so an exact picture of this, and we couldn't figure out how this actually went. See, here's how it moves. I don't want to do it now, but you get the idea like that. The turn signal stalk actually attaches to this end, and we were confused because it didn't look like that on the old one. The other problem is the 3 holes in that don't appear to line up here, so we're not really certain what the hell is going on at this point. We're trying to get the old one out, and once we do that, then we'll see.
I have a lot of play, I'm just not...
Yeah, it doesn't want to go. Update! We got this thing out. The holes actually do line up. It just, something didn't look right with it still in the car for whatever reason. And we've temporarily hooked the new one up. The problem is, Sal fucked it up. To combat some other wiring issue, see, this is the new one here. Joe. See those 2 cut wires, the yellow and white? They're spliced in here to the old harness. So something is definitely not right with the wiring job that somebody did. Okay, hang on.
Stupid.
What?
It just went through my left hand.
All right.
I felt a tingle in my pussy.
Right, good. We have jumped out what the fuck happened, and now the car is wired factory. And we just tested it. I have the battery disconnected now. I'll shut the key. Everything works. The blinker there in the front works. The blinker there on that side works. The back works. That blinks left and right. And when you step on the brake, if the right blinker's on, the left is on solid, the right is blinking, and vice versa.
Really?
If you signal the other way. So it definitely works factory wired. I guess the next thing would be with the headlights on. We'll have to see about that. I don't really drive this at night. And one other thing I found, which I pretty much knew already, is this indicator works for the right signal, but the left is burned out. So that'll have to be addressed at another time. Disassembly, we just cut the old one, and there's the new one in place.
Well, kinda.
Sorta. Now we're gonna straighten that all out. Okay, abort mission. This is allegedly the wrong part.
Well, yeah.
How is it the wrong part? If you look, hopefully you can see with the sun, you see there's the hole where the hazard lights would go. Here's the little button for it. It screws in to the plastic. The problem is, this is a different design, and that little hole that it screws into is stuck in the column now when it's seated properly. So now I did some more research and found that there's a difference. They sell the one with cornering lights and without. Now, I don't know what cornering lights are. I always thought they were on the Lincolns, like right here. They had that light. You know what I'm talking about? They had that light there, and when you would put the signal on, it would light up the corner. But this don't have it, but yet it needs that one. Where did I put the thing? Oh, it's on the floor. Here's the old one, and this sits higher up. Like the new one is thicker, and this hole sits higher up. So what happens is when we install that, this has to get pushed in, and it stays in, and now the hazard lights are on. So now, with it in there like that, when the battery is hooked back up, the hazard lights are just on. So now we're trying to dig this out. And it's weird because, like I said, this does not have cornering lamps that I see. And the other difference was, it's back here. We just cut the wires to make it easier. The old one had this little 3-pin thing. That kind of makes sense for cornering lamps because you would send power down one and it would switch between one or the other. But the car is not equipped.
I know who these.
So I don't know what the fuck the deal is. The problem is the cornering lamp version of this is like, yeah, now you can see that sticks out, that's where it should be, that's proper, but it won't work that way.
Right, because then this will sit wonky and you can't turn the wheel when it's like that.
Right.
Right.
So now we're gonna rip it out and probably leave it with nothing until I source the right part.
Right.
Now, for some reason, like I was saying, the cornering lamp version is like $85, $90 compared to...
Which would make sense, because that's the one you wanted.
Yeah, compared to like $30, which I may have paid for this. I have to look it up. So hopefully, after this is disconnected and we get the wheel back together, we'll put the old one back just so everything fits right. Then I'll be no worse off than where I started, where the signals still don't work. But we've proven that the switch itself is defective. So now we got a monkey with this thing. Well, I'm back home, and I'm almost no worse off than I was before. Now I have no brake lights either. I didn't expect that GM would run the brake lights up the steering wheel and back, but they did, because with the other one connected, everything worked. Left and right signals, headlights on or off, everything worked exactly as it should. So that switch was definitely bad. Or perhaps Sal fucked the wiring up so bad. That's the one thing we didn't test. We didn't try unjumpering what he did. And what that would have done was I would have been left with, we put the original red one back, I would have been left with it staying on to the right and not canceling, and the left would just not even go, you know. But if I had to signal left, I could hold it, and play that game. I'm sure some of you have had cars that have done that. So for now, it's pretty much going to stay here until I get the right part, and then we'll get to do the job all over again. The good news is the second time will be a lot faster and a lot easier. Obviously, there's a lot that was cut from the video, because otherwise you're going to watch two schmucks in a Buick for 3 hours, and that's no fun. So it'll go good next time. Alright, thanks for watching. There'll be an update as soon as I get the part in and we get this done. Take care. Bye-bye.